All right, deadbeat dads. Why are our boys all messed up? Why are they so feminine? Yeah, a lot of them didn't grow up with men. And the women did the best they could. Definitely. My mom, my aunties, they did the best they could. But they put me outside. Boys need to see manhood. Masculinity is crucial. Young men need to see it. And so for me, thank God I had the guys in the neighborhood who just wrapped their arms around me. Yeah, I got this Almac Maduro. The men in my neighborhood saw me, reached out to me, and they filled the gap. They made sure I wasn't going to be soft. Imagine how much of a shame or how much of a deadbeat, how much, I'll use some bad words. Imagine how much of a douchebag you got to be. You taking care of your cigars, but you're not taking care of your kids. Imagine how much of a slime ball you got to be. You got your cigars aging, but you don't even know your kid's age. And so we talked about sensitive men. They're so feminine. You know why they're feminine? Because they had to grow up. They had to grow up with just women. Oh, Fogey's got that Coy Hill, 148 proof. Yeah, I'll put some hairs on your chest. But the reason, so I'm always solution driven. And so, sure, I want to get on the sensitive man and say, man, y'all sensitive, y'all soft, y'all feminine, y'all emotional. I'll get on them, but I'm always looking to see, okay, well, what else went wrong? What else went wrong? Welcome, brother Smoking Noble. That cigar, that apostate initiatory, love that stick. I did a whole video on that. I love that cigar. What's going on, everyone? Welcome. Come on in, hit the like button. We talking about just some man stuff here. This is that show where I say too much and this is one of those, brother might get cancer for what I'm about to say. A lot of men, deadbeat dads, dad left. And so for me, thank God I was able to, the neighborhood raised me. Flat out did. Went into the military. So thank God. And I think not old, but a stogie, cigar stogie, he said, his grandfather stepped in, helped out. And so thank God for those situations where other men stepped in. Brother Cordell became a stepfather. Man, stepfather, the father the children who the father never came to visit. I mean, that is absolutely heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking. I mean, it's heartbreaking for the child. Because I was that kid where daddy's supposed to pick you up at 5, and now you sitting, you looking outside, every car to drive by, is that him? Is that him? And after a while, you're like, nah, he ain't coming. To me, a deadbeat dad is just the worst thing. The only thing that even could compare to that is a man who puts his hand on a woman. Now, the reason why I would say that second, because if you produce a child and you're not even taking care of that child, to me, it's almost, I wouldn't even say is inhumane or unhuman. It ain't even natural for animals to do that. Animals take care of their kids, especially if you're a mammal. And so when a man does that, and so many of us, we've lived with that pain, waiting, where's dad? Is he gonna come? And so you cause all this pain to a child, And because of your absence, so now that little boy, he's going to struggle. Now, the neighborhood raised me, but they did a good job. I turned out okay. Sometimes it don't work out. Sometimes the neighborhood is going to push that kid in the wrong direction. And sometimes that kid ain't going to be raised by the neighborhood. He's just going to be raised by mama. So he's just going to be a little feminine. And so when we start looking at what's going on today, everything we talked about the first hour, why do you think these men act like women? Because they raised by women. That's all they know. And so can they have a conversation with another man? And they can't. All they did is watch women gossip back and forth. So now that's their mannerism. That's how they talk. And so when they talk to us and we're like, what's wrong with this kid? And so that's why, again, I don't even pick on the victim. I look at the whole system to say what went wrong. And so we got a little boy raised by a single mom doing the best she could. He's probably gonna end up bad. Like old Fogey said, they're gonna just end up buck ass wild. She can't even punish him too much. I remember one time my mom, was I a great kid? I probably wasn't. I wasn't. One time my mom was trying to discipline me. This is the Caribbean. It's a little bit different. The laws are different there. Don't call the cops on my mom. But for whatever reason, she was hitting me with a broom for some reason. Now, I used to work out, working out, playing basketball. And I just grabbed the broom, broke it over my leg, threw it, and just looked at her. Just walked away. And as I look back on that moment now, that was a woman just trying to raise a young man. Yeah, Chris, shout out to the coaches out there. Yeah, I used to coach youth basketball. And so everything that I'm saying, so in addition to being a pastor, I spent years coaching middle schoolers basketball. And I saw a lot of this. So me coaching wasn't even just about X and O's. It was about trying to make some men. And so here's what's going to happen. Either that little boy, he's going to end up feminine, or he's going to end up what they call toxic masculinity, because he don't know any better. He don't know that solid place of being a man because he hasn't seen it. So either he's going to try to be extra and try to be extra aggressive. Now he's fighting all the time and he's trying to prove he's a man. And I did that for a little while. I was fighting every single day. I got stories. I'll tell you one day. I once started a whole riot at my high school. Riot. Got suspended for about 3 weeks because I thought masculinity was fighting. So I knew it wasn't being feminine. And I knew, and then I tried tried fighting a lot. But again, thank God there were men that say, nah, man, here's what men do. Here's how we get down. Yeah, we're going to drink a little, smoke a little, we're going to talk, we're going to tell some lies. But yeah, there's a certain energy that you're going to carry yourself with. And so little boy ends up being either too feminine. I told y'all, we're about to get canceled. We're about to get canceled tonight. Look, I had a good little YouTube run. I got another career. He says, when that happens, you end up, okay. All right, I'm gonna take that down. Yeah. Oh, Fogey, I hope you support me when I lose my monetization. I hope you chip in. We saying what we want to say tonight. I done drank the Ugadil. If I had drank something easier, I wouldn't say what I'm saying, but this is y'all fault. Balance. Well said, my brother. And we talked about that earlier. A woman is going to bring that love, that emotion. And a man is going to bring a little bit more practicality, pragmatism, stoicism. Brother Benny, yeah. My family is Jamaican. Yeah, it comes out when I'm around them. Speaking of y'all, a lot of times that's why I might even, if you think I'm aggressive and talk, and no, this is me talking as slow and as calm as I can, because I'm trying to make sure I enunciate so you can understand what I'm saying. But yeah, normally I got a little bit of an accent. And so we see what the problem is. The little boy is going to end up messed up. The neighborhood might help him. The military might help him. A good coach might help him. But the little boy is going to have some troubles. Now, what if it's a little girl? She not raised with a man, so she don't know what a man looks like. She don't know what masculinity looks like. Who you think she's going to end up dating? She's going to end up with some knucklehead because she don't know what to look for. She ain't ready to be in a relationship. As Peter said, it's about balance. And so my kids can see how my wife and I interact with each other. They've got a model before them. Little girl grows up, she ain't never seen that. So she doesn't even know how a woman is supposed to act in a relationship, because all she's ever seen is her mother trying to be a man and a woman. And so she grows up a little bit too masculine. Now her relationships ain't gonna work because ain't no real man trying to deal with a woman who's too masculine. And so now you got this perpetual cycle of families that will not work because that little girl doesn't know how to be in a relationship. That little girl doesn't know what she's looking for. That little girl doesn't know how to be a woman because she's never seen a man. And she ain't seen her mom with a man. And so now you got the whole family that's just jacked up. And so then 20 years later, you got a guy like me running into some sensitive dudes. And now I'm taking it out on them. And so this is why I tell you, I have to like slow down and say, okay, it might not be this guy's fault. He probably doesn't know any better. And so this is what happens with deadbeat dads. And I'm not even going to go into economics and all this education, and because kids ain't gonna go to school and learn when home is all jacked up. Now, why am I talking about this? Okay, so if you follow, if you follow different cultures and whatnot, there's a guy named Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm about to go in on Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar Johnson. And so if you don't know who Dr. Umar is, he fashions himself as being some great, I don't know who he thinks he's supposed to be like the modern day Malcolm X. He calls himself the Prince of Pan-Africanism. He's supposed to be that guy. He's always on the Breakfast Club. He's always on different panels. He's always boundaries. And without even knowing Peter, I know his boys are good. I know his wife is good. Without even knowing the guy, just by watching. And so this is what I was saying earlier about sensitive men. You can just see it. You can see the way a man sits, the way a man talks. You can pick up on anything. I can look at a guy. I can look at the way a guy sits and be like, all right, yeah, I can rock with him. That's a solid dude right there. Now, Umar, Dr. Umar. And so Dr. Umar is always, he gives out what he calls lashes. Everybody's always getting these lashes. If you do something that he doesn't like. So if Tyler Perry does something, Tyler Perry needs to get 1,000 lashes. He's always on talk shows. He thinks he is like the black leader or something. And so what has come out recently? So Dr. Umar is always talking about, here's who a man ought to marry. Here's how a man ought to be. Here's how the community ought to be. And this man's daughter has come out and said, oh, my dad's a deadbeat. I'm 22. I ain't never seen him. He ain't been to nothing. He ain't been to a birthday party. He ain't been to a graduation. And she came out saying that, hey, you know what? I'm actually trying to find my sisters because he got other kids who don't even know him. And so now you got all these family members who are coming out saying, Dr. Umar, this guy who been on all these, he's written all these books, made all these speeches, like Cordell said, just talks real loud, is fake. And he's been doing this for years. In fact, he's got a school that he's supposed to be building. He's supposed to be building this school. It's a school called Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey. And he's been building the school for about 15 years. People have been sending him money. And it turns out this man ain't never been married, ain't taking care of his kids. Now, his daughter came out and said what she said. And quick pause just to say, man, Warp cigars are just, the construction on them is just impeccable. I love Foundation. We're smoking that All Mac. It smelled pretty good. More been the result of the weather. I lit this Chinchale up, and man, night and day. I gotta slow down. There's so much, the draw is so good and the flavor, oh man. And as a second cigar, and I'm smoking I just smoked an All Mac Maduro, drinking a high proof scotch, and this Chinchale, I can taste all the notes, even though I'm talking to you all and doing all this. Great cigar. But Dr. Umar, been doing all this talking, making a big fuss for years. Turns out his house is a complete mess. Turns out his kids don't even like him. They don't even know him. His daughter calls him a deadbeat dad. And so what is his response? His response is, no, I'm current on my child support. I got all my paperwork to prove it. That's your response? And so then he's putting out videos almost dissing his daughter. And I'm thinking, how about you just take a little hiatus? Turn the camera off. Turn the camera off and just chill. No more speeches for you. Just come sit down. Come sit down. Come sit down. Get out the pulpit. Come sit with us. Come sit with the congregation. This ain't your time to be speaking right now. No, don't respond. We don't need you going back and forth with your child who you never raised. And how are you going to tell us how to be men when you're not even raising your own kids? How are you going to tell us who to marry when you're not even married? How are you going to tell us what to do in our communities when you are what's wrong with the community? You're the one that's destroying the community. You're a deadbeat dad. You got at least 2 kids, 2 daughters who say you're a deadbeat. And I know life brings challenges. Sure, every relationship isn't going to work out. I get it. But that has nothing to do with your children. Your children should never say, oh, yeah, he was a deadbeat. He was never there. And so where am I going with this? Where am I going with this as brothers check in, smoking what they smoking? What's going on, Benny? Yeah, Warp makes amazing cigars. Where I'm going with this is to say, fellas, ladies, gentlemen, I think at some point we ought to just, my advice would be, look, if things ain't going good with you privately, just go ahead and chill. I think too often we're trying to have this public image, present ourselves. Look, there's a time for everything. If your life ain't going good, let's just chill. We don't need to hear about it on Facebook. We don't need to see videos of you just crashing out in front of us. If you know you're not taking care of your kids, if you know you're not taking care of your wife, if you know your mind and your money and things ain't going good with you, then just hit the pause button on your public life. And why am I saying this? Because I see so much people just crashing out right in front of us. And I feel as if we're in this place, this world where everyone wants to project an image. Everyone wants to say, oh man, I'm doing good. I got my channel. I got my Instagram page. I got my Twitter. I got my TikTok. Look, here's another rule. until your life is together, you don't need to be posting nothing. Don't upload another video. No more Facebook posts. No more. We don't need to see another picture on Instagram. No more reels. No more tweets. Just chill. Get you together. I think we just got this mindset of, oh, I'm going to project publicly and show, look. Because here's the reality. We see it. We know you jacked up. We can tell. We can tell. You ever had that friend who his woman runs him, his girlfriend runs him, and now he want to give you relationship advice? Nah, dude, just chill. You chill. You ever had that friend who their kids is bad? I mean, you go over to the house and the kids are just bouncing off the couch and bouncing off you, and you're like, can you please control your children? But then later they want to give you parental advice. You know that broke friend who owes you money, but now he's talking about Tesla stock? Friends, let's just chill, get your life together. You can come back. Your comeback is going to be great. You're going to kill us when you come back. But until then, just calm down, get your private life in order, and then you could hit us up publicly and let us know what we need to be doing. And I guess I'm so upset about this is because we allow it. We prop these people up. We listen to them. We watch them. We like their posts and their tweets and all this. We retweeted, knowing that these guys are just lying to us. It makes me just wonder what happened to, I guess, truth and integrity and just real life. And also what happened to make a man show it. My channel, for instance, I've always had cigars and whiskeys and all this stuff, but I needed my life to be in a certain place before I turned the camera on. I needed to know something and be able to present and share. And I think too often we got people who should not be sharing who are trying to share with us. And so simply put, if your life, and I ain't saying your life got to be perfect, but if you're going to be public, you got to take care of some things first. Take care of home before you try to have some public presentation. And then Dr. Umar, like I said, he's been building a school. That school been being built for 15 years now. Why don't we hold people accountable and say, hey, look, man, I ain't listening to nothing you say until I see some proof. Show it. Let me see that you're really living this. And then I say this because, we all scroll through YouTube and we see gurus, financial gurus, relationship gurus. You got people who aren't even married. They some kind of marriage expert, literally not even married. Ain't got a dime to rub together, but giving financial advice. And we listen to these people. And so I'm always looking at the system. I'm always looking to see, is there something we're doing wrong? Are we promoting this stuff? Are we encouraging this stuff? And so these are some of the things that I think about when I'm just hanging out in the lounge with my friends.